Hello, so today I'm going to be reacting to the new dev drop. This is for set 13. It's going to be the start of set 13, and I'm super excited for it. So this is the dev drop into the arcane. Because it's going to be a reaction, I'm going to pause. I'm going to talk about my opinions on some of the stuff, give my live reaction for it. And then also make sure that you go support and subscribe to the Teamfight Tactics page as well. As you can see, I am.
Whoa. What is it? I want to drink it.
I
Guys, we need this for the new set.
I would not. The first reaction would not be to drink some unknown fluid in front of me. Alright, this is starting to look very magical. Hopefully that's not another set 11. Okay. I saw Twitch, I saw Swain, I see Jinx, I don't know who wears a suit. Renata. I saw Silco, I saw Jax. Alright. Also, by the way, I haven't watched Arcane. I watched like the first episode when there was like the viewing party. I might actually watch it. Maybe we'll do like a watch party together and we'll watch it in my Discord or something like that. Just so that maybe like, you know, I'm not so ignorant to like lore and stuff for some of the more casual players.
Hey tacticians, and welcome to Into the Arcane, a set that lets
Thank
you
you.
recreate, even rewrite arcane stories however you want.
Alright.
Play past and present simultaneously,
There's Jinx Vi. You have Baby Jinx?
activate unlikely alliances,
Heimer!
or maybe even make
Silco?
everyone friends again. I'm Sean, Into the Arcane.
Okay, one thing I want to say though, I know I'm pausing a lot at the beginning. I'll try not to pause a little bit later. But like, I really hope there's not like some kind of rival mechanic. Like, one of the most tilting things in set 9 was when some jackass would have the Demacia augment that would literally like give you bonus damage against Noxus, and my dumbass would be playing Noxus, and then randomly the guy would just be doing bonus damage against me, and I would lose because of lore reasons. I hated that. There were so many times I lost the game because of that, and I was like, bro, that is so annoying because I'm just playing flex, and this is just what I hit, and oh my. So I hope not.
Lead designer, here to tell you about what we've been cooking up. This is the most arcane set ever, with a
All right.
roster full of TFT exclusive arcane characters, traits that pull from every part of the arcane universe, and a mechanic that's,
Yeah.
shall we say,
They've been putting a lot of work into
transformative.
this one. You can tell because of how much set 11. No, I'm joking.
First up, we've got a trait we couldn't possibly leave off the roster. They'd come after us if we did. The high stakes Chembaron Alliance puts the eke in streak
Chembarons.
as you stock up Shimmer and get powerful and highly illegal items from the black market.
Okay, so this is like the item augment one. These are usually like really good tempo traits where you get like free items for your board. I felt like Fairy kind of sucked for most of the set, so hopefully this one has like better intervals so it's a little bit more usable and it's not super tied to like vertical trait.
This crew is full of TFT exclusive champs,
Okay, Silco.
including our old pal Silca, the backline blitzing Yordle Smeech, the
Smeech?
chainsaw toting tank Remy, and
Oh,
our
I saw
heavy
okay, never
hitter
mind.
of a
I won't
5-cost
spoil.
Savika, whose
I know
robot
what the
arm
chainsaw
randomly
girl
shuffles
is.
through abilities, including a flamethrower, extendo punch, thrash, and a tiny chance of hitting a jackpot.
Oh, I love slot machines.
You can also pair Savika and Vi with their pit fighter trait. Whose steely punch hits harder? More of a topsider? Growing up with the
Bro,
enforcers
that's like Tifa. You know Tifa in Final Fantasy VII? Where she fucking summons the slot machine? It's like, yeah, then she beats your ass. Dolphin Slash. Well, Dolphin Slash is from Melee, but you know what I mean, the dolphin
Wanted
kick.
enemies. This trait gives bonus damage.
Press
amplification
type in the
plus
comments if you know
more
what Tifa
against
is.
wanted enemies. When
And if you know what
enforcers
I
punch
mean when I say
enemies,
slot
they get
machine.
even more power.
You have to be a
This
certain
vertical
age for
trait
that.
has TFT exclusive characters like Steb, a frontliner
Steb.
who'll sustain himself and his pals, Loris, whose shield blocks for more than just himself,
Loris.
and Maddie, who shares the sniper
Maddie.
trait with the enforcer's top gun, who you've probably already guessed. As the 5 cost for the Enforcers, Caitlyn's ability reflects her leadership and strategic planning. As she calls
Yo, it was so funny. I was at the watch party for like the season 2 arcane show, and like they showed Caitlyn, and she was like going through like this is little mini spoiler, but not big spoiler. But she was going through some letters like on the first episode. It's not relevant to the plot. And then like my chat comment was like, "Okay, so where's like the pool party invite?" And I got the streamer to laugh so hard. Oh, that was like you know when you get a streamer to laugh. Oh, it's such a good feeling. I have no stake in the game. I don't play League at all.
in an airship to circle the battlefield, barraging enemies with physical damage, and dealing even more when an unwitting enemy gets caught in the epicenter.
Okay, so Deathblade, i.e. Shojin, she's gonna be like a backline caster, do a bunch of damage. That seems really cool. I like that.
Conquer nations than criminals? Look no further than Conqueror, which brings Mbessa and the
Mordekaiser
to the convergence. As your conquerors rack up takedowns, you'll get to open war chests full of loot.
Ooh, this is like the dragon mechanic in set whatever, like, you know.
The loot gets, and your conquerors grow more powerful with each war chest. Everyone's favorite Noxian brothers will kick off your comp as 1 costs, and 4 cost Mbessa will gladly hold on to the riches you've racked up in the late game. In her TFT debut, this Noxian warlord swaps between 2 stances on cast. The first gives her additional range and damage, while the other gives her the ability to dash to the current target, strike in a half circle, and slice everyone in the radius. So yeah, Conqueror's a lot of fun, and as a large vertical for the set, it's even more fun when you can devote more Conquerors to the cause. They don't even have to be Noxy. Garen and Mbessa are both 4 costs for our Emissary trait, which only activates when you have just 1 or all 4 unique emissaries.
Okay.
Each of whom grant different bonuses. Things like attack speed, mana, or an aura.
Oh, this is like
All 4
this is like Arcana in the other thing.
Peace. Just kidding. All bonuses will drastically increase them. Next up, we've got a couple traits for those of you who
That's
are in
interesting.
your
That's like your cap
ungovernable
board
era,
thing.
Starting with Rebels. These blue-haired devotees of a certain 5 cost have traveled from all over Runeterra to give their all to the cause. Upon losing a portion of your team's overall health, their signature smoke signal empowers surviving rebels with things like attack speed, health, or a brief board-wide stun.
Oh, if it's like Freylord where it gives the stun, it's gonna be so much fun. I love when traits give you like a combat utility, because then you can just play around and flex a board around like a little bit of a core, if that makes sense. Like you can take like a low cost unit core, build around with like expensive units, and then because the core, even though they're low cost, they give like a combat element to it. It's really, really fun. Like that's how Freylord was in set 9. There was a lot of boards where you just played 2 Freylord to get the stun, or 3 Freylord, and there was obviously like the optimal boards with it, but like that was one of the most fun parts of set 9, is that there was like these units that you would just play. It's the same with like Jarvan in set 9. Like every board you played Jarvan, and that's part of the reason why flex was so important, because like every single board had to have a Jarvan and had to have a Heimer, and a lot of times had to have Freylord. So you would always like flex around those and play whatever you could, so long as you hit those units or had spot on your boards for those units. You couldn't like tie yourself to certain vertical traits all the time because of how important it was. But we'll see how it plays out in this set.
Ever unpredictable leader Jinx alternates between 3 weapons to deal AoE damage with her Flame Chompers, strike and stun enemies in a line with her Zap, and finally fire off a death rocket that deals massive damage to oh so many enemies. It's like the entire board. One last thing about Jinx. Even though she doesn't share a trait with Vi, you can pair up these sisters by using one of our team-up augments.
Oh, fuck. It's some fucking team-up shit. What the fuck is this? Oh, is this the set mechanic?
New type of augment that will bring relationships from the show into the game. And we couldn't forget Echo and the Firelights. Every few seconds, these slippery speedsters dash around the board, attacking while moving and restoring a percentage of the damage they take. Though there are only 3 Firelights, including TFT exclusive Scar, your foes may think there are more with Echo's ability that summons an assault of afterimages. We'll also have traits for the scientists, mad or otherwise, but I'll stick to Piltover's version of scientific progress for now. Harness the power of knowledge with Academy, a trait that plays like Exalted but for items.
Ooh.
This one's for the big brains out there, featuring
Plays like Exalted. So that means that there'll be item sets that you get if you play these units. That's like it. Oh, that seems really fun. It just depends how they balance it. That seems broken because like getting items early is such a huge resource. It's even better than Exalted. So the way Exalted worked in a couple sets ago, for those that don't know, maybe you didn't play, but basically what Exalted was last set was that there was every single game there was a set list of certain units, and those units would then give you bonus EXP and bonus damage if you played the Exalted trait. So a big part of set 11 was playing around with Exalted in mind, so that when you made it to like level 9, you made sure to have at least 3 Exalted to get the bonus damage. So you'd angle yourself, like you try and play flexibly, but you try and play towards those comps. Sometimes Exalted was really fucking annoying because there were some comps where it was like, oh, that is clearly XYZ reroll. And the people that had a spot for that reroll just got Exalted for free and did like insane damage, and they just won the game for free, kind of, it felt like. So that's what I mean by it has to be balanced. Now, if the Exalted is like a set of items, so play 3 of these units, get an item, place 5 of these units, get like 3 items because they have like these hidden like little blue border item things, then it's really interesting because the items at least are a lot more flexible around the carries and what you can play, but at the same time it might just force you into pigeonhole you into certain builds that revolve around the shared traits of this board, and then whatever auxiliary units can use those items best, or whether these units are strong and broken and can use them. So it comes really, this can be one of the coolest, awesome flex things you can do, but if there's certain comps that are broken that revolve around certain subsets of whatever this trait is, then it's going to be really, really annoying, because it's going to be like whoever gets dropped the units that relate to this are just going to have an unfair advantage, it feels like. And that's how Exalted was in set 11. There were some that felt really unfair, some that felt super balanced, and they worked throughout the set to kind of play around that, because Exalted used to be really bad, and then it became really good, and then it became really bad. And but it was part of set 11 that was maybe one of the most redeeming features, in my opinion, that was really, really fun. So hopefully this plays out in a similar way.
Rocket firing carry and Jace, a 5 cost for our form swapper trait.
Jace with a hammer.
The last trait I want to reveal is a bit of a blast from the past, with 3 more TFT exclusive arcane units: Violet, Powder, and Vander. These 3 make up Family, a small splash trait that's a great boost to any reroll comp. Because Family is stronger together.
It's a dedicated reroll trait. I mean, that's fine. We'll see how it plays out. Family. Like Lilo and Stitch.
There are so many more traits and champs to discuss, but time is short, so I'll pass it to Singapore to discuss a brand new cosmetic type before we wrap things up with a reveal of our set mechanic.
Oh, I want to see the set mechanic. I think it might be that pair-up thing. I'm skeptical about it, so we'll see what it is.
Theo here.
Hello.
I'm with Tommy, the art director for the
Hello,
cosmetics
Tommy
team,
and Theo.
and we're so excited to welcome an entirely new style of tactician to the Convergence.
Oh.
Unbound tacticians give us a whole new way to express champion fantasies and cater to a wider variety of player taste. While chibis are the adorable, humorous, and lovable TFT spins on your favorite champions, Unbound tacticians are the purest embodiment of that champion at the height of their power.
And who better to let loose alongside a new cosmetic type than the loose cannon herself, Arcane Jinx Unbound.
Oh, these are so ugly. Like sorry, maybe somebody's a really big Jinx fan. I don't mean Jinx is ugly, like, you know, to each their own. What I mean is like, oh, it's gonna look so out of place because you have all these like cute little fluffy animals and like very chibi and circular. Like already the chibis felt a little bit weird to me. Like I didn't like that looking at them. But now you're just having like an actual champion like on the board.
We'll hit the Convergence at the start of the set. This new style brings a champion's unique power fantasy into every facet of the tactician, from their emotes to their run or cast animation to their splash art. every piece will be grounded in the ultimate version of a champion's power, personality, and backstory. The same goes for
Whatever.
finishers.
I mean, this is just cosmetic. So like when I'm complaining, it's just like, oh man, it's just because like, you know, the opportunity of like something that I would have really enjoyed versus something that I don't enjoy. But some people will enjoy this, so it's obviously good, right? It's just cosmetic. Like I don't care. Like, you know, add as many of these to the game as possible. You know, make your dollar, make your buck. So like, you know, of course, if you're really excited about this,
Where
by
we
all
will
means,
capture
don't
a
listen to
pivotal
me
piece
that I'm a
of the
Debbie
character's
Downer with it.
story
You know,
in a matter
if you
of
wanted to,
seconds.
if you hate the chibis and you
In
wanted
Arcane
like
Jinx Unbound's
proportionate
case,
Jinx.
we're reliving an unforgettable scene from the show.
Oh, spoilers! I don't know.
Yeesh, I hope everyone's okay.
Anyway, this will be an evergreen tactician type. Who knows, maybe your favorite champion will be next to be Unbound. As for our dedicated chibi lovers, no need to fear. We'll still be releasing new chibis you've come to know and love.
I don't know. I
In
just hate
fact,
all
we're
of
going
these
to be
things that you have to
releasing
pay
more
for.
than ever in the future.
I have my knife pup and I'm
Roll
rocking
the
knife
tape.
pup forever.
With the launch of Into the Arcane, we'll be introducing
Okay, this one's cute.
Chibi Caitlyn alongside her mythic variant, Arcane Caitlyn, and new mythic variants for existing chibis, Arcane Vi and Firelight Echo. Absolute cinema.
And what better place to hang out with all your TV pals than our new Mythic Arena? Ah, the good old days. But this isn't your infallible father's last drop. As the game progresses, this arena transforms not one, but 2 times, celebrating one of the most iconic settings in Arcane as we journey through Jinx's emotions in Season 1. Vander's warm, inviting version won't last long, turning dark under Silco's leadership of the Undercity. Finally, Jinx takes over, putting Powder away for good, and the transformation is complete. Boom!
This arena is for the Arcane fans out there, ourselves included, so we hope you love it. Last, but not least, we have a new Prestige Chibi, one who loves Arcane as much as the rest of us do. Chibi Prestige Arcane Superfan Annie.
As the first skin thematic from and by TFT, we decided that our original troubled child would definitely be a superfan of the blue-haired girls. So this chibi and her Chemtectivers is the team's imagined version of Annie, celebrating her Arcane super fandom.
She's definitely forcing Rebel every game.
Alright, I will send you back to the team in LA.
Okay, so about cosmetics. So this is something if you guys don't know, if you don't like keep up with TFT all that much. When Arcane Season 1 came out, I believe there was a massive resurgence of TFT at the time. And the reason is that a lot of people that are casuals, maybe they played League a couple times or maybe they were into it and they never got like super into it. Like there's a lot of people like, you know, just statistically that just like kind of enjoy the characters and the designs and all of that, but they just don't play that much because of how fucking miserable League of Legends is as a community. Which, you know, of course there's like all sorts of gaming communities that are like that. It's pretty much any team game is like a fucking cesspool of like shitty children, right? That's just kind of how it is. You know, Valorant's a similar way, etc. So what happened was a lot of people got the League client and then they got fed up of getting like flamed in League solo queue. So then they started playing TFT. And that was like a huge resurgence. Like a lot of TFT being in the same client as League, a lot of times it's like tilted League players or people that didn't enjoy League that then start playing TFT. And that's like that makes up a good part of the TFT player base. It just is. That's just how it is. So like you're making Season 2 all focused on Arcane and then make a bunch of cosmetics for it and all this thing. They're trying to make it so hype that like it really draws in a lot of that similar audience, I think. Now, something to look forward to if you're somebody who really likes TFT is that the more popular it is, a lot of times these are the sets that they try really, really hard on. I feel like the one that was one of the sets that sticks out of the most recent last couple 5 was when there was the Vegas Open for TFT. You can tell that like they put a lot of effort in. Like that was like set 10 was Vegas Open and set 9.5 was one of the worst sets ever, right? So set 9.5 was one of the worst balanced, played, thought out. Like it was just miserable, right? And then right after that, there was set 10. And because a lot of the people probably working on set 9.5 were trying to make sure set 10 was good for launch because of like the open tournament that was going to happen, a lot of eyes on it, bringing in a lot of new people. The set mechanic was interesting and new. It had the whole music thing going on that was really, really, really in depth, right? So there's a lot, like sets like that usually tend to be like more, at least for me, more enjoyable because there's a lot more care that feels like it's put in. I'm not trying to diss anybody, right? Take this with like, I'm just trying to say how it felt to me as a player playing the last couple sets. Set 12 now has felt pretty bad to me. I didn't enjoy it. So that's why I'm looking a lot more forward to set 13, because this is the one where there's like the IRL tournament. This is the one that's based off of the show. This is the one where we're like, as a TFT person, you would expect there to be a massive resurgence of people playing the game again, as opposed to like set 12 where it felt like, a lot of people weren't playing it. If I talked to people or if I looked at people or people in my chat, people in my comments, everybody's like, yeah, Syndra is broken. I just quit after patch 1. And the people that stuck around, it's like, yeah, I quit by the time it got to Callista. And then after that, it's like, yeah, I quit by the time it's the end, right? Like, it's going to be like a bigger set of TFT. And also, if you're somebody in the TFT community, make sure to be really welcoming of these people, because these are the people that help the game live and strive and do really well. So, I'm really excited about this set because I'm expecting it to be like a lot of like, I'm expecting to be like really bougie, in every way.
To walk you through the set mechanic.
Okay, set mechanic now. This is the big one. Anomaly. Okay. Please be good.
I'm Christy, the UX lead for Into the Arcane.
Wait, before we look at the set mechanic, I'm going to yap a little bit more. Now, this is a reaction, so, if you're upset at me pausing and yapping, just go watch and support the original video, okay? Because I'm giving my opinions, and that's what makes this transformative and different content, so I'm not just ripping off somebody else's content, right? To each their own. If you don't like me, please leave. But anyways, set 12. Originally, I said, when I watched the first dev talk, I said, I don't think I like this mechanic, because it seems like cheese. I think, as much as I didn't like set 12, the last set, the mechanic was one of my favorites so far. I felt like it had a very good expression of skill. My initial worries about it were very wrong. I felt like by the end of the set, everything was very balanced, and I never really felt super angry about charms in any way, shape, or form. I felt like it was a perfect balance of variance and skill. There were so many times where you can express your own skills and express your own play style by either buying charms to be strong earlier, greeting, and then trying to buy giga charms later, when to roll, how to roll, when to buy a charm. There were so many aspects of it that can take like infinite time to perfect, and I by no means perfected in any way. And a lot of times when I would VOD review, I would spend so much time talking about how I should have bought a charm here, I shouldn't have bought a charm here, I should have done this for this charm, that for that charm, and that aspect was amazing. So I'm hoping that this set mechanic I enjoy as well, but even if I say right now that I don't like it, I did a complete 180 on charms, right? I absolutely love charms. So we'll see how it works out here.
Here with Brian, the design lead for our set mechanic, to talk about how we brought the anomaly into TFT. Every game, at stage 4-6, you'll have a major decision to make. Choose one of your units to enter the anomaly. A powerful force that will transform them for the rest of the game.
I don't like this already.
You'll be able to re-roll transformation options for 1 gold, limited only by how much you can spend. Once you're happy with the effect, place your favorite unit in the hex, and they'll come out with the buff you selected. And probably be fine too. Mostly fine. Now you can only transform 1 unit per game, so choose wisely. This will be a permanent strategy-defining decision as you head into the late game.
You can send anyone into the anomaly and be able to control, to an extent, how they are changed. Some options offer pretty standard power, tankiness, or utility, while others will have a more specialized, unique effect.
Maybe you'll make Savika an assassin in the anomaly, who'll jump to the backline to unleash randomize and mechanize havoc.
Okay, this mechanic is as good as few anomalies there are. Because, in my opinion, I feel like if there's like 100 anomalies, the chances of you hitting one of the there's always going to be one that's going to be better than the others for certain units. There's going to be Exodia. right? I'm hoping that this doesn't ever make Exodia happen, because if it does, that has to be the most tilting thing ever. Like, imagine if somebody, like, what I'm envisioning is somebody is gonna be like in losing position. They're gonna be going 8th, right? They're gonna have 1 HP, and then they're gonna hit some bullshit like this, where they have some like Giga unit that just becomes an assassin, and then out of nowhere, it's like fucking Giga busted, and they just go first, right? I hate things that just turn the game on a dime. So if the anomalies aren't major, or there aren't that many of them, such that no matter what, you know what you can play around, that you don't have to just take whatever, like, you know, this looks good enough. If you don't, you either have to settle for good enough, or that everything is quote unquote good enough, or if there's stuff that's really broken, you have to have very few of them so that everybody can hit the broken shit, right? And it just comes down to who played their mid game better, which I think is a way better skill expression. But we'll see how it goes.
Or make your unit a bully so they can deal increased damage doubled against units with a lower star level. Take Cosmic Rhythm and your champion will no longer gain mana. They'll instead use their ability every 6 seconds.
That one
Those
sounds
are
like
just a
ass.
few options of many, but regardless of who you select to enter the anomaly or what the outcome is, every champion in the set will work with every anomaly. With over 50 anomaly
Oh,
effects
it's
on release,
50?
there will be thousands of potential game-changing decisions.
Oh, fuck, doesn't sound good. I want there to be like 10. Oh, fuck. Maybe you could tailor them. Maybe you only get certain. Oh, that's so bad. Oh my god, imagine there might be Exodia. Oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna see how it plays out. I didn't like Charms on the release, and I ended up enjoying it. If my reaction is that I don't like it, maybe this is the best set mechanic ever, and I'm actually really excited about it in coming a couple weeks. There's actually a good chance that I actually really enjoy this. So, you know what? Be positive, right? Last time I didn't like it on the dev drop, I said this looks like shit, and it turned out to be one of my favorite set mechanics in the last couple sets. Maybe this one's gonna be absolutely fucking juice.
And with that, we'll pass it back to Sean for a hint on what's next.
That was a lot. But if you feel like something or someone is missing, that's because they are. Like we said in the beginning, Into the Arcane is the place to play Arcane stories. Past, present, and...
Okay, I need Arcane fans to let me know. Do you guys really fantasize about playing Arcane stories out? Like, this sound, like, I don't, like, am I crazy? Like, I've never gotten into a lore. Like, I love certain lores and books and novels. Like, I have, like, you know, I've dedicated my life to certain fandoms. But never did I ever think, like, I can't wait to retell the story how I want. I'm gonna make this character win instead of this character. It's like, do people really do that? Please let me know, because I don't know. I feel like the angle that we're hearing throughout this thing is like, you're gonna relive the stories from Arcane. Are people really gonna boot up into TFT and be like, I'm gonna make it so that this event doesn't happen and this is gonna be my canon? Like, I'm sure they're just hamming it up, like, to be like interesting. Like, but like, you know, I'm imagining being in a lobby with TFT players and thinking to myself, like, are they just playing this comp because they like the show and they want to, like, put the other units in the show? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It sounds like that's not gonna happen.
future. And this isn't the last you'll hear from us. As the show evolves, so will the set. We'll be back soon with more.
As the show evolves, so will the set. Does that mean that every couple weeks when they release the 3 episodes of Arcane Season 2, they're gonna fucking shuffle everything? Because if so, fuck that. Honestly, that's something I don't like. Okay, I listen, I'm all down for changing shit up in the TFT, but I am not down for, like, you know, in the show this character did something, so now their thing's gonna change. It's like, what? I'm not okay with that.
For you on gameplay, the Macau Open, and more.
Macau.
See you then.
Yeah, Macau's the one that I was talking about. Into the Arcane. All right. What's everybody's thoughts? Is everybody super excited about it? I'm excited just because, like I said, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be one of the highest quality sets that we've had in a while. I think there's gonna be a lot of either production value, bells and whistles, care to, like, the early release. I've heard there've been, like, dev testing it like demons to make sure that there's no, like, major bugs on the release, or everything's pretty balanced on release. Like, they care a lot about day one going well for this set. And considering that day one went pretty bad for the last set, and last set in general had some really like sus areas of the game, right? I think that like this one's gonna be really really exciting. So I'm very exciting. I am very personally very excited for it. I'm gonna watch Arcane just so that like when I'm streaming I can make like jokes and quips and knowledge things about the characters instead of just like chatters coming in and saying this character does this because of this, and then me saying like I never watched or played League of Legends before. So I'll catch up. Maybe we'll do it together. If you like my content, make sure to like and subscribe, and also you can check out my Discord and stuff like that for when I'm going live and stuff like that. But yeah, that's set 13. Overall, it looks pretty interesting. There was a lot of things that I saw here that I was actually very excited for. I didn't see anything scaling. I'm a bit scared about this reroll being too strong. This family reroll. Because they're using popular characters, so this is like, I guess, Season 1 Vi and Jinx. Or like, is Vi Violet and like Jinx is like Powder or something, I think, from what I remember from people talking about the lore. But this seems like it might be really busted. Because usually rerolls are very beginner friendly, and if they're trying to capture a casual audience, a lot of times, how'd I phrase it? The comps that are the most broken, a lot of times are the ones that are like, the ones that people like the units, you know what I mean? Like there's always like a comp where it's like, oh yeah, everybody's just gonna play this shit and it's gonna get really annoying. And then if it's a reroll, so for example, let's say Jinx and Vi were like 5 cost units, which I'm sure they are. Probably one of the renditions of them is probably 5 cost, but like making a low cost reroll version of those units, I think everybody's just gonna play it instantly. They're gonna be like, oh, I got family early, I'm just gonna play family, and then it's just gonna be like a very reroll focused early game. That's the only thing I'm really worried about, but it doesn't seem like everything is very reroll focused. This shit scares me. I don't know what these are. These team up augments where it shows everybody with a team up. Is this like sometimes the augments are going to show all team ups? If that's the case, I'm a little bit scared about that. Because these team ups look a little bit awkward. It kind of pigeonholes you into playing certain units and making those your primaries. And I feel like if you don't hit one that's like good for what you have in terms of items and augments and stuff, it might be really really awkward to play around these. So we'll see if these are like, I think they're just showing them off here, but it might just be like these might be like hero augments where they show up if you're already playing Vi and Jinx, then you can tailor and get one of these. So I think that's what this is, which in that case it's fine. I think that's more along the lines of like hero augments, and then it just comes down to balancing the hero augment. The one that I really like that they made like another thing similar to Exalted. This thing where it gives your team-wide buffs is pretty interesting. The Noxus line seems somewhat interesting, but I'm not quite sure about it. It seems like a very cash out, so this is like more of like a win early, use resources for late kind of game. So I think this one's kind of nice. There's also good unit distinction. I feel like a lot of the units look different enough that you're not going to have like inter-trait confusion early on. But where's the one with the like the Piltover one, or the Hex Tech or whatever you call it? They're all wearing like white suits. This one looks very interesting, where it drops you items, because item traits are usually have a really good spot in the meta always. Think like Demacia in set 9, think Superfan in set 10, think Ink Shadow in set 11. They always have like a nice little spot where you can get an item and play around it. And I think here, seeing certain items, it just comes down to like balance. Like I said, if this is balanced well, it will be one of the best augments and I'll have a lot of fun with it. And if it's not, or not, but the best traits, but if it's not, then it might be like a little bit tilting at times. So that's like my general take on that. But anyways, I definitely talked a lot. Like I said, if you wanted the abridged version, maybe watch me on 2x speed. If you want the Giga abridged version, just watch it for yourself. But thank you for watching. Like I said, we're going to be focused on set 13 now, from now on. So I think PB is out in a couple days, and we're going to get some information about traits and other stuff very soon. So as soon as we get all that information, I'm going to make daily content around that. So, make sure to like and subscribe if you're looking forward to set 13, and if you're fans of the show when just starting out TFT, because I'll be VOD reviewing a lot of games for this. Thank you for watching, and see you later.